Hi guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Now, before I get into it, I have just a quick question. So this face you see on the screen right now, I want to know in the comments if this face looks familiar or if you've ever seen him in your dreams before. So it might seem like a weird question, but this man isn't anybody in particular. It's just a randomly generated face that a lot of people have actually said look familiar and they recognize him from being in their dreams. He's actually known to be called this man. I'm gonna go into a little bit of a background story of it. So on January 2006 in New York, a patient went to their psychiatrist and was telling their psychiatrist that they've been seeing this man in their dreams repeatedly and that he would constantly be giving her advice on her private life. She said she's never seen this man's face outside of a dream before. So the psychiatrist decided to draw the face of this man that the patient was describing. And after their session was over, they left the picture on his desk. So a few days go by and the psychiatrist gets another patient. And this patient comes in and sees this picture on the desk and realizes that, hey, I know this man. He also comes to me in my dreams as well. So after this incident occurred, the psychiatrist sent this picture to a few of his colleagues that had patients that were known to have reoccurring dreams. So within just a few months, about 4 patients actually recognized this man as well from their dreams. Since then, at least 2,000 people have claimed to have seen this man in their dreams, and it's occurring in multiple cities all over the world. The thing that's really odd about this is that no real person is said to actually look like this man. They've also tried to determine that maybe these individuals who have seen this man in their dream, maybe there's some sort of relationship or a common trait that they all have. However, they haven't been able to find anything. It's just kind of really odd. So there are some theories behind as to why these people are seeing the exact same person in their dream. I'm gonna go over them just really quickly. So the first theory is known as the archetype theory. Basically, this theory is said to be the collective unconscious that surfaces when people are going through a hardship, as stress or emotional distress, things of that nature. And it's caused these people to see this one face, and it's kind of a collection of everyone's face, I guess. Another theory is known as the religious theory. So this theory obviously goes hand in hand with religion, and it is said that this man is the way that God, or I guess the creator, manifests himself into people's dreams in order to let them know specific things that they either need to do or things of like that kind of nature. However, the reason that they say this man comes to them in dreams is because he works for some sort of major corporation, and his plan is to modify their thoughts and beliefs, I guess, to either benefit the company or to make everyone think the same. I'm not really sure. There's also the dream imitation theory. So basically, this has to do with a scientific psycho-sociological theory where people get so invested in the whole "have you seen this man in your dreams" that they begin to focus so much on this man that they start seeing him in their dreams as well. And finally, we have the daytime recognition theory. So I'm just going to read you exactly what this theory says because I'm not really completely understanding it. So this one states that the apparitions of this man are purely casual. Normally, we do not remember precisely the faces we see in our dreams. The image of this man would be an instrument which, in the subject's waking life, facilitates recognition of the undefined ornical image. So I personally have never actually seen this man in my dreams, and I couldn't tell you which theory would make more sense. However, I do have some first-hand experiences of people seeing this man in their dreams, so I'm going to read a few. I have had this recurring dream for some years now. A tall, dark man shows me a picture and asks me if I can recognize my father in it. The man in the picture is this man. I have never seen before. He looks nothing like my dad, nevertheless. I inexplicably answer that I do not recognize my father. At this point, I usually wake up feeling very peaceful. Other times, the dream continues and I am standing before my father's grave, and I place some flowers on the ground, and I realize the photograph on the tombstone is missing. I fell in love with him from the very first time I saw him in the dream, even though, if I think about it, I must admit he's really ugly. And yet, each and every time he sweeps me off my feet with his romantic gestures and sweet words. He buys me flowers, jewelry, and he takes me out to dinner or to the beach to watch the sunset. I've always had this dream of flying in the sky over my city and observing my friends from up there. Since I moved to another house, I started meeting this man while flying. Not every single time that I have this dream about flying, but often enough, he flies too but never speaks. The first time I had this dream about this man, I was having a hard time at work. I had a dream about getting lost in a huge and deserted shopping mall. Suddenly, this man appeared and I started running away from him. He chased me for what seemed like an hour until I found myself against the wall in the kids' area at the supermarket. At this point, he smiled at me and he showed me the way out towards the cash desk, and I woke up. And he has appeared in all of my dreams, and he has always given me directions on how to get out of the dream and to wake up. I dreamt of this man when I was in 10th grade. He hasn't been in any reoccurring dreams, just one very memorable and terrifying dream. I was stuck in a room sitting on a stool. A few feet away from me, there was a television set. I was visited by two men I've never seen before, not this man, and they both attacked me. I woke up covered in sweat and tears, and I was screaming. I somehow fell asleep, and I found myself back in the room. I started screaming and crying. Then this man showed up on the screen, and I begged him not to harm me. He didn't change his blank expression or speak. He slit my throat, and I woke up. I suppose he let me out of the nightmare, but I couldn't stop thinking about him for weeks. I still have some of those sketches I drew of him. I know, it's kind of weird. I dreamt this man was in the mirror watching me, saying nothing, and he was wearing glasses. He never moved the entire time I saw him. He was so still, like a statue. I dreamt this man was Brazilian and very handsome. He was a school teacher type, with 6 fingers on his right hand. He said if the US had a nuclear disaster, go north. I have seen this man in 3 completely different dreams. He was slightly different from the picture, but I recognized him immediately. He appeared suddenly and disappeared in the same manner. His message in all 3 of my dreams was, "It's all over." It was repeated 3 times in each dream. And the difference in the picture and the man in my dreams are his hair was a little longer on the top and his eyebrows were not as bushy. Other than that, he is identical. I had no fear of him, but many questions. So what are your thoughts on it? Have you seen this man? Have you had any dreams, or do you believe any of the theories that were presented? I would love to know what you were thinking down in the comments. Be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.